Everybody, welcome. It's Thursday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I have been traveling a lot this week with my job, and so I am kind of exhausted. I told my husband, I was like, I am so glad I have this to look forward to every Thursday night, because if I didn't have this, I don't know what I would do. So my daughter is trying to FaceTime me. Doesn't she know? This is crazy. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. We are in our series with Harriet's Journey. I hope you guys are loving it. You can see our first 3 blocks I've hung up here on my Feltrite board. And if you're not familiar with Feltrite, this is my design wall that I use. It's made of felt and it's fantastic. You do have to use pins. I've had a lot of questions about this over the last few weeks because you see it in my live streams. I love it because it's not just a plain design wall. A lot of design walls are just white batting, which is totally fine. It works. It does its job. But I like something kind of pretty on my wall when I don't have like a big quilt covering it. So I went with Feltrite and I love it. And I actually ended up getting some for my daughter to put in her apartment. She absolutely loves it. She uses it as like a board in her kitchen, and then she's got a board in her little office space in her room. And so anyway, yeah, it's fantastic, and I really love it. You can, though, if you really enjoy batting and you like the way, your blocks just stick up there and you don't have to pin them, you can put batting straight on it and it will stick, and then you can just put your blocks on top of the batting. So I've done a few things like that. Like if I have like a few quilts going at the same time, right now I don't, but if I did, I will put the batting up there. Like I'll have like a crib size quilt batting up there, and then I will put my blocks on. And then if I need to switch out my stuff, I just roll it up and then I can roll it back down. And so anyway, it's fantastic. So if you're interested in that, you can check out Feltrite. Where's everybody coming from? I've seen Minnesota on here, Michigan. Hello from Wyoming, Arizona. I saw Nevada earlier. I see a lot of people from Texas. Finally, we're getting some lovely weather. Woohoo! But I'm sure It's short-lived. I think all the winter is past us. But I think now we're in tornado season. So it's just one lovely thing after the other, right? So, hello from California. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, Katie said she bought her own felt squares off Amazon in 2 colors and cut them into quilt block pattern. Cost less than $50. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I love that idea. Maryland, hello, Missouri, Central Nebraska, North Central. That's very specific, Lori. North Central Nebraska. That's interesting. North Dakota. So welcome to all of you. I've seen a lot of you have been buying some acorn spray. You're going to love it. So before we get too deep into all the fun tips and tricks, I thought tonight I might do a little bit something different. I thought that you guys might actually enjoy seeing some pictures of some cute little grandchildren. Do I love them more than life itself and more than my quilts? Of course I do. So these are the 2 littlest ones. Next week I'll maybe share one of my little Princess Lila. She is like my little mini-me. But this is Landon and Lincoln. Landon, she is a mess. She's the boss. She's the bossy one. I thought Lila was going to be the bossy one. She's like the firstborn, but the little one, she rules the roost, you know. She comes in and bosses everybody. And Lincoln, he's hilarious. So if you can't tell, he is just full of mischief. But anyways, I thought I would share a little. This was their little school picture. They're getting school pictures today. So I just thought they were hilariously cute. So I thought I had to share. Also, if you have not seen Jennifer Shiverini, who we are doing her book, right? She has a brand new book out. New York best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author. She is the one that wrote this book, but she's written a new book called The World's Fair Quilt, and I am loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. So, I recommend it. If you're a reader, grab it while you can and start reading it, because it's kind of cool to read one of her books while we're in the process of doing her block. So anyways, you look way too young to have grandchildren. Oh, Charlene, thank you. I have 3. I love that. We could just end the show tonight now on that. So I'm just teasing. So thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. I was in a fun little shop this week or last week with my daughter. She's like, after church, she's like, Mom, let's go shopping. And I'm like, I'm tired. I've had a long week. But you know, when your daughter says, let's go shopping, I go shopping. I came across the most hilarious quilt, pillows. And I was literally dying laughing. It was so funny. So I'm going to share some of these with you. Oh, my husband's saying hello to everybody. That's so sweet of him to tell you all hello. Everybody tell John hello. He's my little unicorn. That's what my friends call him. He's the unicorn. Okay, here's the first pillow. I'm so random lately. I don't know. If you guys hate this live stream because I'm so random, I'm so sorry. It's just the way it just is what it is. Okay, here's the first pillow. Don't I need this? I put the hot in psychotic. I love it. I am dying. If you love that one, you'll have to hit a heart or something. I don't know how that works on YouTube. Okay, here's the next one. If I agreed with you, we'd both be wrong. Right? Is it just me? Oh, I think these are so awesome. Okay, here's the next one. Underestimate me. That will be fun. I mean, right? Isn't that just so hilarious? I'm waiting for the snarky comments from my husband, because he probably is like, oh, I don't know why she didn't just buy all these pillows. Okay, here's the next one. I'm not bossy. I am the boss. I'm like in love with these pillows. I don't know. I think they're all very, very expensive, but that's why I took pictures of them. Oh, let me get a drink. Sorry. Speaking of quilt shops, I'm going to try to stop in Wellington on my way to Stillwater this weekend. Ooh, Kendra, that sounds fun. Anything Jennifer writes incredible. I agree, Tamara. I think her books are fantastic. That was someone at work yesterday. That's funny. See, John says, see, I don't have to say it. It's true. Deb has a coffee mug that matches that one. So I just think it's hilarious. Okay, here's the next one. Dear Karma, I have a list of people you missed. Anyway, I was literally dying over these. I thought they were so funny. Oh my gosh, my friend Crystal Gano's on tonight. Hi, Crystal. So anyway, I thought these pillows were hilarious. I think it's probably something I may have to invest in myself. I don't know where I would put them. John would be like, literally, where are you going to put another thing in this house? And my answer to that is, I don't know. Who cares? Okay. We're going to get into our next block. So block number 4 in our series is Crossplains. And so this is block number C3, and it's on page 31 in your book. If you haven't worked on this one yet, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. Oh, I am expanding, right, Katie? That's right. I am. Yeah. That's a great idea. Put them in your new expanded sewing. Oh, in your camper. Deb, that's a good idea. There's always a place for good pillows. That's what I think. And those were hilarious. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on Crossplains. So it's this one. One thing I will tell you, if you have not made it yet, it does have 3 colors in it, where we've had, just 2 colors in a background on the first 3 blocks. You don't have to do 3 colors if you don't want to. I did do 3 colors just because, but really it's not necessary. You could just use 2 different colors and be totally fine. So if you wanted to do all your center blocks the same color and then your flying geese in a different color, there's 2 colors. But it does make it a little interesting if you want to mix it up a little bit. So I did want to mention that. And instead of, like, if you just really don't love all the little squares in the middle, in the center, in that center block, just do a plain block. Just do a center block. So those were a couple of tips I had for you. Okay. You're going to use on step number 5. Oh, let me start with step number 4. It does talk about the light beige fabric and cutting 4 squares. And it talks about the D, 4 rectangles for D. That's actually E. It's not D. So you might make a note of that in your book, that's actually E, and 4 squares of F. But on step number 5, it does talk to you about pattern G on page 97. You'll want to use that for sure. I think that makes things always so much easier. But on step number 6 is talking about the quick pieced flying geese. You can follow the instructions and do it the way the book says on page 26. The corner star, step 5. To make the 8 quick pieced flying geese units. That's with the pink, it's got the pink and the white. I happened to not love that plan. I have to do everything hard, I have to make everything complicated. But I feel like this makes it much easier. So what I've got here is using the 1 inch by 2 inch flying geese paper by It's So Emma. You can get this at itssoemma.com, or Fat Quarter Shop has them. This is Fat Quarter Shop's. It's like the triangle paper, but this is for flying geese. This will finish at 1 by 2. But I'm going to show you a little tricky. What I do when I know I'm going to have to make a flying geese a certain size and I want to use flying geese paper, but the paper may not be exactly the right size as my pattern, I do a little test. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like first. Let me see. Okay. I will cut out a block or just a piece of fabric that's the size that I'm going to need, that it's going to end up being when I finish it, and make sure that it will fit on that flying geese paper before I start cutting out my fabric. So that's just a tip that I can give you now. And this is something that I do every single time because flying geese always just intimidate me. And I want to always use, I really like using foundation paper for flying geese because they come out perfect. But if you're just not sure on if it's going to be the right size or not, or it's going to finish the right way, you can always trim these down. But if you start too small, then you've wasted a lot of time. So I always make sure I go bigger, and then I make sure that it will fit right inside that flying geese spot. So this one will. So I used, again, the 1x2 inch flying geese quilt block foundation paper from Fat Quarter Shop. So you start there, and then I'm going to show you, this is what it looks like when you go to trim it. Let's see. Oh, sorry, wrong one. This is it. So this is the way it's going to look when you trim it. So I use just a normal ruler, and you'll see the diagonal line on your ruler. You want to make sure that you place that. You want to have that 1/4 inch seam hitting where that diagonal goes. And it's going to end up being a 2-inch block. So 2 inch by 1 1/4. So you can kind of see that there, how I've got that placed. I'm going to leave that up there for a minute. Feel free to grab a screenshot of that if you want, so that you have that as a reference. But once you have that done, then you'll trim it out and it will be perfect. Feel free to ask me any questions about that, because this is actually one of my go-tos. This is how I do all my flying geese, because I just think they just come out perfect, and I love it. Let's see. Carol from Murphy. Leslie, how do you keep the acorn pin from scorching? Love the acorn does get the seams very flat. I haven't had anything scorch. So I don't know if it might be, you may have it too wet. Make sure you're not putting too much on there. If it gets too wet, let it dry just a little bit before you press it. You don't want it to be like soaking wet. That would be my tip. And don't leave it on there too long. You'll need to make sure you're moving your iron. So that's one thing that I could say you want to make sure you're doing for sure. Let's see. Good tip. I have a bunch of these papers and do not use them very often. Now you know. So this is how you can do this, because there is not paper that matches that size exactly, but you can trim it down. So this will take it to 1 1/4 by 2 inches, and it'll be perfect for your block. When you're using this paper, I'm going to turn that screen off so you can see. When you're using this paper, it does tell you in the front, it'll give you some instructions on how big to cut your fabric, and this will allow you to make several at a time. So you'll be able to make 2 at a time on a page. So when you have this going, you're going to cut your white. Your white is going to be your background fabric, so it'll go on first, and you'll cut it at 3 1/4 by 4 inches, and it tells you this up here on this page. But you'll want to cut that 3 1/4 by 4 inches, and it'll be a rectangle, and it'll cover this area here. And then you'll fold in each one of these corners. I do it all at once. I just fold those in, and then you're going to start using your pink. And so the pink is 2. You're going to cut 2.5 inch squares, and then cut that on the diagonal, and that is where you'll place those here. So you'll have 4 pieces of pink, or whatever color you decide to use. So I think this is the easiest way to do them. If you've got other ways, Eleanor Burns has a great ruler too. I've used her method as well. Or you can use the method that's in the book. Either way, totally fine. Either way. So this is my block after it was finished. And one thing you'll notice, it's just a hair different than what is in the book. I didn't want the pink all to line up I don't know. I just bugged me. I wanted it to be a different color. And I swapped around my colors a little bit this time because I liked the little blue. I used the same kind of color scheme. I just liked these prints really a whole lot. And I wanted the pink to be, these little prints to be in the actual middle. So I fussy cut these. So you'll see, hopefully you can see the little chicks and the little bunnies. I just thought they were really sweet. And then I fussy cut these as well. So these little sampler looking blocks, and you can see the little house and a little rose. I just thought that was really sweet. So I did it this way instead. And I switched my colors around, but I used the same colors that she had in the book. So, that's kind of a tip. So I did, pink, green in the middle here, and then pink here. So then I just swapped them around a little bit. Sarah said, you are the boss of your own quilt, Lori Holt. That's true. Lori says, we are the boss of our own quilt. I have actually a cross stitch in here that I did that says that. And it does remind me all the time that I am the boss of my own quilt. I am not bossy. I am the boss. Isn't that right, Sarah? Okay. Any questions about this week's block? Happy to answer them if you have any questions. Hopefully that gave you a few little tips and tricks to use. And, I am trying to stay a week ahead so that I can go, okay, what kind of tips and tricks can I give you to make this a little bit easier as you start going through the process of building your blocks out? So happy to answer any questions you have, but hopefully that takes care of most of them. I think this block is so fabulous. It's so cute. And I know that these are challenging. They're tiny. They're teeny tiny little blocks. But we're going to have a beautiful sampler quilt to hang in our studios when we're finished. I'm going to share with you. Let's share the quilt along next few weeks. So I did post this if you missed it. Here it is. This is the next few weeks. So we've got the Dolly Madison Star. That's block C6 on page 34. That's going to be next week's block. Then we'll do Duck Tracks. That's week number 6, and that's block C10 on page 37. I really like that one. Then week number 7, we're going to do Far West. It is block D3 on page 39. And then we'll wrap up that 4-week series with Friendship Chain because we need a good friendship chain. So that's week 8, block D9, page 43. I know all of you are jumping out there looking to see if you can get ahead and start. I've had so many people go, can I get the next few weeks? And I'm like, everybody needs to be patient. We need to give everybody a chance to join along. So if you're just joining, plenty of time. We're just now releasing the next month. So hop on to the first few. You can find all of these on my blog at lesliequilts.com. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe this live stream because we do this every Thursday night and it sends you a little reminder on your phone when we go live. So that makes it easy. You don't have to sit there and remember it. So, because goodness gracious, we're all busy. We all get too busy. We don't have time to sit there and remember all of that. So, okay, any questions? How did you decide what blocks we are doing? Okay, that's a great question. So what I really look at the ones I like titles of things. And so I look at those first and then I go, is this something that we want to do? I steered away from applique because I figured not everybody loves applique because, that's just a thing. I try to give some variation, but I also want to help build skills. So if, you'll notice we've got some square and square stuff. A lot of people hate square and square, but if you do it a couple of times, it gets a little easier. And you go, oh, I've got some muscle memory behind that, so I'm building some skills there. But some of these, you'll find there'll be a few that have some names that mean something to me. And we'll find out, I think those, hang on, let's see. It'll be in the following month. You'll hear some that kind of mean something to me. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. That was a really good question. I finally got my fat quarter bundle. Yay! Melissa, You're ready to go. Get going, girl. Do you use acorn on the entire block or only on the seams? That's a great question. I use it on the seams as I'm pressing, and then at the end, I spray it all over. So that's a great question. Love building new skills. Yeah, that's what this is all about. We're doing things small. So if you do it small, you can do it large. That's the way I see it. So, okay. Let's see. I'm going to get to a winner from last week. And then I realized it was so funny. I got so busy, and then I got off the live stream, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't show anybody what what the prize was going to be. So I really felt bad about that. However, I'm going to show you what the prize is this week for everybody and for my winner from last week. And then I'll show you what is coming up if I can remember. So this week's winner is going to get a bag of buttons, and these are Lori Holt buttons, which are stinking adorable, and Rochelle loves buttons, so she'll love that I'm giving these away. Also, there's a cute little Quilt Town set of notebooks that I got from Missouri Star. I'm going to send that, and oh my gosh, this is so cute. A little sewing kit from Missouri Star. Look how cute this is. It's got a little thing for your thread. This is a mini rotary cutter. I mean, have you ever seen a mini rotary cutter? I mean, it's so stinking cute. Little scissors, a little seam ripper, and a thimble. So, yeah, that's coming. And I'm going to tell you who just won that. Let me put her name up here. This week's winner is Julie Wilson, 4785. Congratulations, Julie. I'm so happy for you. You're the winner of that this week. Send me your information. I need you to send me a direct message on Instagram if you don't mind. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow, because I post a lot of things, and I've been sharing a lot of your blocks out on my page. So it's been kind of fun to see your blocks pop up in my screen. So Julie, send me your address in a direct message in Instagram, and I will get that shipped out to you. So this week, I want you to tell me what's your favorite quilting podcast. And if you don't have one, might I recommend one? Inappropriate Quilters podcast. Every Saturday morning it is downloaded or uploaded or whatever, and you can listen to it anywhere you can find a podcast. So drop a comment on what your favorite, and if I'm not your favorite, if we're not your favorite, it's okay. I'm just curious of podcasts that you listen to. So anyways, let's see here. This week's winner, I've got a little cute little bundle of things. So the June Taylor Magic Seam Wand. I love this. When I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to get my iron out, this is just really handy to have next to my machine, and I just press my seams with this. So I love this. I've got another cute little notebook. Y'all, I use little notebooks like constantly. I have little sticky notes, or I'll have little, look, here's another, I have little sticky notes right next to, I'm always using a little notebook. So that's my thing. I'm going to throw in some soak. This is scentless because I know some people don't really like scents, but this one is soak, and then you can either use that on your laundry, or you can wash your favorite quilt in it. And I know I keep throwing in really good stuff. This is like one of my favorite charm packs. I can't even believe I'm giving this away, but I love all of you. So I'm going to give you a chance to win Old Glory. This is one of my very, very, very favorites. This is by Lella Boutique. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful bundle of fabric for summer. It's just absolutely stinking beautiful. So, lucky winner next week. This is an absolutely gorgeous charm pack. And if you don't have there's tons of charm pack patterns out there, but I can drop some recommendations for some fantastic charm pack patterns. I may do that this week. So, Anyway, does anybody have any questions? I'm happy to answer before I let you guys scoot and you get to your families and eat your dinner. Let's see. Oh, everybody's saying they love Inappropriate Quilters. Okay. Of course. Also love Quilter on Fire. I do too. Mike Rowe. You can't go wrong with Mike Rowe. Although I don't think he's a quilting podcast, but that's okay. I like him too. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to Inappropriate Quilters. We love our show and we love chit-chatting. And Rochelle and I actually have not recorded this week. We're going to record tomorrow, and then I'll post it on Saturday. So really excited. But I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here again. Good luck with block number 4, and then we'll get going on the next series of blocks next week. Oh, Sherry and Chelsea's podcast. I love them. They are so good. Yes. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can get a reminder. But thanks again, and we'll see you next Thursday. Bye.